thing about it, if you don't speak up, people are gonna end up walking all over you.
Before you think about how other people feel, you really got to think about how you're feeling. And that will balance the scale, because you need balance with that. You need balance with that. You think of other people too much, or how you're going to make them feel, and and you'll never really be super selfish if you are already like that. So you're so empathetic. You know, you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, step on nobody's toes so much that you can use some more selfishness. If amp up the selfish. You can use some more selfishness. Amp up the selfish.
Hey humans, welcome back to my channel. Y'all, I really hate doing intros because it's like the simplest thing to do an intro, and it takes like 50 times sometimes to get it right. Like, I literally sat here and was like, hey humans, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming. Hey humans, welcome back to my channel. Hey, thank you for stopping saying the wrong shit. Hey humans, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Yen. Oh, I want to stop saying that because everybody says that. Hey humans, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure you Hey humans, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Fuck my life. See, it's annoying. Anyway, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. Also, turn on your post notifications so that you get notified every time I bless your screen. I don't know why I do this, but I just always like to whoa, and this is not even like a real whoa. Like, this is like a yen whoa. But yeah, what's up y'all? So today was crazy. Today was a good day. I had a good day today, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here because something has been on my mind for a few days, right? I got my glasses on. It's dark. I'm about to take it off, but I just wanted y'all to see how cute I look with these shades on. And I will definitely drop down the link, because guess where they're from? They're from Amazon. They're from Amazon. Aren't they cute? Look. I know the lighting is a little bit off because I have this light on in the car, but I feel like if I turn the light off, it's too dark. So let me put the light back on, whatever. But yeah, so basically here with y'all today to let y'all know how speaking up has literally changed my life. Like, when I tell you that speaking up has changed my life, it has changed my life. It changed the way I think. It changed so much. It changed the way I'm treated. It changed the game for me. So the other day, what made me want to talk about it now is because, like, a few days ago, one of my homegirls hit me up, somebody I used to go to school with, and you know, she's also a YouTuber, and she asked me to do, like, maybe about I'd say like 3-4 months ago or something like that, she had asked me to do her YouTube intro for her. But I remember when she wasn't really like, what she was asking for was like a bit extreme. It was like a lot. It wasn't like just like a 1, 2, 3 thing, like, oh, do this, do that, like, oh, can you add my name, can you teach me how to do the letters? No, she wanted like some extreme graphic thing that I know how to do. I know how to do it, you know. So she asked me to do that for her, and in my head I'm like, okay, like, she's asking me to do something this extreme to her, but she's not, you know, saying how much you charge. It's just like, oh, hey girl, mind you, we're cool, but I don't know, sis, if you're watching this, we're cool, but since we're not that cool, like, we're not that, we're cool, like, as far as like, if I see her out somewhere, we're gonna say hi and bye, we know the same people. And she's basically like, we're just not that cool. So anyway, she asked me to do her intro for her, and she basically was like rushing me to get back to her, like, about doing the intro for her. But she wasn't speaking not once did she say anything about money. So she's basically like rushing me to get back. Like, I saw her DMs on Instagram, I saw her DMs on Facebook. Like, sis is basically contacting me everywhere to get this done for her. And she hit me up the other day, like, with a question mark. She put basically a question mark on her response, her last response, that I never saw, that I did not comment on, because I didn't see it because I was busy. But when I seen that she question marked it, and it was right after I made a post about something, so I'm like, okay, so sis liked my post, she wants me to see, she's basically trying to get my attention. Cool. So she basically question marked it, and I went back into the DM, and now I responded to her. I said, hey girl, I said, sorry, I'll get back to you with the price list, but so far it looks like it's coming up to about so-and-so, and I gave her a number, and mind you, the number wasn't even that big. Like, I was just giving her a number. I was like, it should have been more, actually, for what she wanted. It should have been more, but I was just trying to be a little bit nice, still dumb, empathetic me.
Listen, come here. Shut your stupid ass.
And I brought the price down a little bit. So she was basically like, oh, like, I could go on. She said something of the sense of, oh, I can go on the website and get it for the same, get it done professionally. That was the word that she used. Professionally for the same amount. She said something about the same amount or more, something like that. One, no, you can't. Two, sis, this is professional. That's why you reached out to me, because I'm not gonna front, you know, her. She's basically she has more subscribers than me on YouTube. And shit is, you know, it's fancy. Her last intro is really nice. Somebody did it for her, and she was like, oh, that's the same price that I paid, blah, 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 or whatever the case may be. And it's like, what? So now you're not making sense. So basically you're telling me that this is the same price that you paid for your intro, which is actually basic compared to what you want me to do for you, and you're telling me that you paid the same price. So technically I should be charging you more, because what are you trying to say? Because I'm doing it for you, oh, I should be giving you a discount, or I should be, like, I feel like she basically, and this is not like no bashing thing or nothing, she knows how I feel about it. It is what it is. She knows I'm a YouTuber. She knows I'm talk about it. She knows I'm going to talk about it. But it was basically like saying, like, oh, I know how much it costs, but because I'm going to you and I know you, or you're not an actual professional with a business that basically deals with editing people's stuff or whatever the case may be, she feels like she probably should have gotten it for a cheaper price. What do you think this is? So you think that I'm supposed to take my time out? Listen, and I said to her straight up, like, it seems like you got cold feet when they talk about pricing. Like, sweetheart, this is not an easy job. And even if it was an easy job, I said, you know it's not an easy job, because you don't even do your own intros. You said it yourself. You have no idea how to do that. And you was super fascinated when you saw my work. And, oh, how did you do this intro? Oh, I see you change the intro. Oh, how did you do this? Blah, blah, blah. She asked me all the time, how did I do this and how did I do that? I was just like, this is not easy, you know. This is not free. I have a life. I got things to do. I'm a YouTuber just like you. So, and I do everything on my own. So I don't have anybody to do the editing and do all of this for me. I do this by myself. And she asked me to do it for her. Cool. I was willing to do it. But I'm not. I got to take my glasses off for this one. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that for free. Like, why would you even think that I was going to do that for free? Like, are you serious right now? So it was just like, I hate when I'm editing. One thing, I have to get used to being a content creator, and I need to put my glasses back on because I feel like the light is messing up the way my eyes look, whatever. So one thing I notice about being a content creator is that people will literally walk by you and like stare at you. Like, they're gonna stare. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm like, this is not something that I just do for fun. And we're not even like best friends. But she didn't even have my number. That's how crazy it was. She did not even have my number. She had to reach out to me through social media. So you're somebody who has to reach out to me through social media. Yes, we're cool. You know, you're the homie. But we don't speak. We don't even have each other's phone numbers. We don't. We have each other's social. We're connected on every social network that there is. You know, so I had to break it down to her. Like, listen, sweetie, I'm busy. You can pay this because you have you have a bigger platform. I'm not saying, oh, because she has a bigger platform, but she has a bigger platform. She pays everybody else. That was the problem. You're paying everybody else to do this and do that. You basically stated to me how much you pay. Why does it get blurry like this out of nowhere? Yeah, so it's like, you're paying everybody else to get your stuff done, but you wanted to come to me. Did you come to me because you wanted? It was like she came to me because she wanted a cheaper deal or something, and that's not how it works. And I'm happy I spoke up. And I wouldn't say she blocked me on one of the social networks, but I can't see her page, so I'm guessing. I'm guessing we was basically interacting on Facebook, and now when I go back, I can't see the message, or it's just like a weird thing. I don't care. Listen, it's just so stupid, but I think the way I reacted was as far as like me actually really charging her. It was like a shock to her. And it's like, I said this before in another video, like, I cannot hold my tongue with nothing. If I'm feeling a way about something, I'm gonna say it. But if y'all know me, like people that know me personally know that I've always had a problem with like expressing how I feel and hurting people's feelings and just things of that sort. So it was like I'm always used to basically just doing shit that I really, doing things that I know that I really did not want to do, not like physically, but just not speaking up on things. And it's like I noticed with me, like it was basically me, I wouldn't speak up during times that I should, and I would be silent during times that, I wouldn't speak up during times that I should speak up, and I would speak up during times that I would be silent. So it was just so weird to me. It's like basically people would like, I'm so used to people wanting things and me not saying anything. Like if somebody would say something, like for example, if somebody would say something about like, oh Jen, you did this, blah blah blah, whatever the case may be, or I think you should do this, or I think you should do that, and like try to give me advice on something, or criticize, like criticize, like a sneak did something about something that they noticed, or they would just say their part, say everything, but I wouldn't really tell them how I feel or have any rebuttal with anything. So it was always just me allowing people to say whatever they wanted to say. And to avoid, I basically I use my silence. This is when I'm using my silence. So I would basically avoid telling people how I felt, because I knew that if I spoke up, the situation would turn into a confrontation, or they're not gonna like what I say. But at the end of the day, it's like I don't like what you're saying, and I have to listen to it. I'm listening to you say things to me that I really don't like, and that's okay, because you know we're all adults. So even when we wasn't adults, that's okay. We're all humans. Everybody's not gonna say things that you like. But it was the fact that I would sit there and listen to people say things to me that I didn't like, and I would never say anything back. Like I would just listen and be like, oh really, like oh, or for real, or even if they was talking about a certain situation, if I felt like what I had to say would hurt them or would turn it into a back and forth or a debate, I wouldn't say nothing. I would say nothing, and I would just sit around and just be like in an uncomfortable spot. And what really started making me speak up is because I felt like at one point, like one thing about it, if you don't speak up, people are gonna end up walking all over you. And it was like at one point I felt like I had to question friends, I had to question people around me, I had to question family, and it's like, what are these people around me for? Like, why are you around me? I didn't like the way certain people would talk to me. Certain friends would even talk to me crazy, and I would avoid like saying, like, just straight up being like,
bitch, I will punch you in your face.
You know, because I don't want that type of drama, or not even hitting, like not even that. Like I would avoid saying something back, because my mouth is crazy, and there would be certain things that people would say, like even friends would talk crazy to me, and I wouldn't talk crazy to back, because I know that if I talk crazy back, we're gonna end up fighting. And one, I'm too pretty and I'm just too mature to be out here fighting, especially over dumb stuff. But I felt like there was a certain point where people were so comfortable saying things to me, but then it's like people they don't like to, basically they can't take what they dish out. So that's the type of situations that I was in, and me being a person that would just be quiet and let everything be, it was like people would be more comfortable with saying whatever they had to say and know what, I'm just gonna sit there and listen. Or there was even a point once upon a time, it was like a girls trip. I remember I was invited to like a girls trip, and I remember they started like a little group chat, and they was asking like, oh, the hotels or whatever the case may be, and she basically put every girl's name, and she didn't put my name, like as far as an opinion, like what hotel would you like, what hotel would you like. And one of the girls that was in a group chat, I didn't know her, but she noticed that she didn't ask me, so she was like, oh, you didn't add Jen. And she put, oh, Yen don't care, she just gonna stay, you know. She said it as a joke, but I didn't take it as a joke. I took it as a reminder, like, damn, this is what people really feel. Like, I'm just gonna be with whatever. She was like, oh, Yen's not gonna care. Like, she's just gonna be with whatever we pick. She not gonna give a fuck. Yes, I am gonna give a fuck, because first of all, y'all in here picking whack ass hotels. I don't like any of these hotels. I don't stay at stuff like this. So, and I wanted to say to them, like, these are all whack ass hotels. I so badly wanted to say these are all whack ass hotels, and you know what? I so badly said it. I ended up saying it the next day, like, actually I do, because I had to sleep on it. I'm like, there you go again, Yen, allowing people to tell you something or say something and think that you're gonna like it, and you're really not. Speak up. And she basically, I was like, actually I do care, because this is a place that I actually visit a lot, and if anything, I'm the vet when it comes to this situation here, and nobody even asked me, and I wasn't really paying attention to it because I honestly wasn't planning on going anyway. It's just too many people. I don't like to go on a girls trip where there's more people there that I don't know than people that I do know. We don't need that. Shit gets crazy, and I don't need any type of, I'm not even taking that risk. But that's really the reason why I wasn't responding. And she was like, oh, she's with whatever. So I had to respond the next day, and I'm like, no, I'm not with whatever. Like, first of all, I wouldn't stay at any of these hotels. It was one hotel that one of the girls picked, and I said, but this one, and one of them was like, oh, well, that's too expensive, like, we don't got that, or we don't have this, and we don't have that. And I'm like, oh, okay, but just know that that does matter. And this is my choice. And y'all want to know my choice? That is my choice. Nobody agreed on that hotel but that one girl and me. So it was like after that, they started throwing like little sneak shit inside the group chat with, oh, well, everybody don't have it for this, and some people people gotta take into consideration of this. I don't care. Listen, it's not about me not taking consideration. Of course I would take other people's pockets into consideration. But you asked me what hotel I would like, and I told you what hotel I would stay at, and that's just what it was. This is where I'm staying. This is where I would prefer to stay. She didn't even ask, actually. I just said it because I peeped that she didn't care to see what I would say. So in my head, I'm like, what? Like, this is crazy. Like, in my head, I'm just like, Jennifer, like, just get out. Just exit out the group chat. So I exited out the group chat. I left the conversation. You know how at the bottom it says left? I left the conversation. But my friend Tara had one day, she put up a post on Instagram. I think it was a story, I believe. And, damn, I wish I could find that, too. And she said something of the sort of, when you speak up, you know, just something about speaking up. And I reposted it, and other people started reposting it as well. And let me see if it's still here. Okay, so my friend, this is it. Like, she basically wrote a post. My friend Tara wrote a post, and it says, I don't know one person that's genuinely happy who has a problem speaking up for themselves. Not a single one. And I'm not talking about on social media. I'm talking about in real life. They're always in their head about things, overanalyze, always in defense mode, and suffer in silence. Learn how to speak up respectfully. Speaking up doesn't have to be negative or mean. It's your form of self-protection. When I tell you that this spoke to me, and I even put, like, you see how, I don't know if you can see it, but this right here says, this used to be me. So I basically reposted it in my story because, listen, that really used to be me. Like, you don't understand how miserable I used to be to have to hold things in or not let people know how I felt. That was like the worst thing in the world, and people don't understand that when you basically don't speak up, you're basically putting other people before you. Because if you feel a type of way about something, if you're having a conversation with somebody, they're letting you know how they're letting you know how they feel. They're straight up about it. That's how the conversation started. They're letting you know how they feel, and you have the opportunity to say how you feel. Or if somebody acts a certain way to you, speak up. If you don't like how this person treats you, you don't like how this person talks to you, speak up. Because if you don't speak up, they're going to continue to do it. And that is one thing that I have learned. People was continuing. I felt like this is my fault. Like, this is not nobody else's fault. These people are not mean. Well, they are mean. You know, some people were mean. But it's like, it wasn't always just oh, these people are mean. It was more so, I'm not letting people know, don't play with me. I wasn't letting people know not to play with me. Or letting people know that I have a voice. I was just basically walking around here voiceless, you know, and it was like, I'm just walking around here voiceless, not saying nothing. So basically, it was like I was giving off the impression of whatever they said would go. And in my head, now that I'm a different person, I think back to certain things that was said, and I would be like, she wouldn't get away with that today. And I had to think, like, I really was letting a lot of people get away with anything. And when you don't speak up for yourself, that's what you do. Like, you're basically allowing people to walk all over you. You're basically telling people you don't have a voice. And you have a voice. And once upon a time, I did not use my voice. And I'm telling you right now, it was the most miserable thing I've ever done. And I've done it for years and years and years. It's literally going on probably year 2, year 3 that I've actually been using my voice. And it took like a tragic situation, a trauma situation for me to actually begin to speak up. And you know, you don't want to get to the point where I tell you one thing, I feel like if something is going on in your life that is not supposed to be there, that is not supposed to happen, God is going to make sure that you get that hint. And until you get that hint, things are just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And I just did a video actually about you know, the second chances thing. It's like the same thing. You give people second chance, blah, blah, blah. It gets worse. The same thing goes for speaking up. If you do not speak up for yourself, you're going to run into situations that's going to force you, like I did, that's going to force you to speak up. Because at this point, I felt like I was forced to speak up. I had to realize, and you know what? Ever since I started speaking up about things, they say I don't have certain friends. I don't like talk to certain people. Certain people don't reach out to me anymore because they now know that if you do reach out to me and you say something slick, it's not gonna be just me like ignoring it or not saying anything or throwing it off with the little chuckle like ha, like, oh, that's funny, and you sitting there and you know nothing, ain't shit funny, that was not funny. You actually got bothered by whatever the person said, and we just sitting there fake kikiing to ourselves because we don't. Speak up. Speak up. I have to speak up about everything. If you don't speak up for yourself, people are going to try to dictate what you do. People used to try to dictate what I do and how I do it. And I never used to say nothing. So I feel like the more I didn't say anything, the more they felt like at any moment they can tell me what to do. Like or dictate how I should do things and how I should live my life. You're not telling me how I live my life. I'm the only person that has to live it. Because people will love to give you advice on what you should do. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, those people don't even follow that. They don't even follow that. People always want to sit here and say, oh, you should do this or you should do that. Or like there's basically times where friends would basically give me advice about something and they didn't even follow that advice for themselves. Like I've had a friend tell me before, like when I was getting cheated on, like, oh, you said blah, 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 you need to leave him, says da, 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 da. Like, you crazy, you better than me, you better than me, you better than me, because I'm not. And I used to let them get away with it. And then one time this girl, she said it to me again, and I said, sis, you took your ninja back 45,000 times. Yeah, so basically it's like if damn, I forgot what I was gonna say, my phone rung. But basically when it comes to that, like I literally used to just let people, I feel like deep down, I'm gonna be honest, like I feel like I just used to let people say whatever they wanted just because I wanted to avoid confrontation. And it's like, I'm not avoiding shit. Like, no, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. And y'all, I'm telling you, when you start speaking up, you start losing people, and I have to realize that. And it feels good. I don't feel a way about it anymore because I feel like all of the people that I no longer am surrounded by, that I had to lose from me speaking up, you wasn't supposed to be here anyway. Because how is it that I lost a friend? How do I lose a friend for telling a friend how I feel about certain situations? That's crazy. I lost you because I expressed my feelings to you, the same feelings that you express to me constantly, but I don't say anything about. But now that I have a voice, now that I'm using my voice, it's almost like, oh my God, like she wants to talk now, like now she want to say something. No, you need to still be the friend that sits there and shuts the hell up and just listens and doesn't say nothing and just takes all the bashing and just no, that's not who I am anymore. I was that person once upon a time, and I'm never going to be that person again because I speak up now. And guess what? I get what, even about dumbest things, y'all. Like I used to get my nails done, and if the nail lady would do something to my nails that I did not like, I would sit there and just be like, oh God. Like in my head I'll be like, oh my God. Or I'll text one of my friends and be like, girl, this nail is coming out so ugly. And my friends would be like, well, you better say something, like you better tell that lady da, 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 da. And I used to be like, no, I don't wanna. And then I would sit there and be miserable with my nails messed up, with my hair messed up, no matter what it was, all because I wanted the hairdresser to feel bad. Didn't want the hairdresser to feel bad, or I didn't want the nail technician to feel like a bad nail technician. And this is what I mean. I basically allowed myself to be miserable for someone else's comfort. I allowed myself to be miserable for somebody else to be happy. So instead of letting them know, like, listen, this shit is ugly, take these nails off, or not even saying it like that, like just listen, like, hey, I don't like this, or hey, even when they do like the little pressy things, like when you get your nails done, they have that little drill. Yo, it was times that they used to drill so hard in my hand, and I used to just take it, and now I'm walking around with bloody fingers and chips, and every time I wash my hand, it hurts. I'm not, the old me gets on my nerves. I'll be ready to smack the, old me gets on my nerves. But now everything, I used to sit, and it's like, this is practice. Like things that happen to me now that used to happen to me before, and I know I would freeze up. Like I feel like God, one thing about me is I feel like everybody has their own version of God. My God has a very big sense of humor, just like me. My God, he funny. He know what he be doing. He be throwing me in situations, and I'd be like, really? I be looking up like, really, big homie? Like, really, God? Now? Like, I know I asked for strength, but I didn't ask for, when I asked for my strength, he tests me like, let me see how strong you really want to be. Because now I'm going to put you in a situation where you got to be strong. This person is doing this to you, and I know you don't like it. What you going to do about it? So now I gotta speak up. And I would speak up. And it's like, all right, cool, I'm speaking up, blah, blah, blah. I'm not about to just sit around and just like allow people to say things to me anymore. That was things that I used to do so much. And it was like, that was the most uncomfortable. And when I tell you uncomfortable, it was like bad. Sorry, human. So of course my battery died on my camera as I was talking inside of the car. So I was like, you know what, let me just go upstairs and finish this conversation. And the fire truck is on as well. So that comes hand in hand, and let me explain to you why. So there are times when I would want to do something, or I mean there are times when people would ask me to do something or ask me to come with them somewhere or whatever it is, no matter what it is, whether it's borrowing money, whether it's going somewhere, attending somewhere with them, or just a simple question. And if I say no, or if I give them the answer that they don't want, they're asking me to explain myself, like, oh, why not? Why this? Why not? Before, I remember I used to over-explain myself. Like, I was over-explaining myself to people. Like, oh, if somebody asked me why I didn't want to go, I used to have to think about, like, damn. Instead of me just, like, keeping it real and being like, oh, I really just don't want to go, it would have to be, oh, damn, like, why can I, like, what, let me think how this person's going to feel, or what can I say, blah, blah, blah. And that's fucking sad that I really had to sit there and think about it. And that basically just showed me the type of people I didn't need to be around, because those people would basically make me feel like if I told them I didn't want to do this, now our friendship is at stake, or now they're going to have an attitude, or now they're going to have this. So what? Who cares? If you have an attitude with me because I'm tired and I don't want to go with you somewhere, oh, well, that's your problem. But that's where staying silent comes into place, because now I'm not explaining myself to nobody. I'm not doing that. If somebody asks me why something's not being done, or why my answer is no, why I don't want to go, why I don't want to do this, why I don't want to do that, I'm not saying that. I'm not explaining myself to you. I said no. No means no. I don't want to go because I don't want to go, because that's when you have to get silent. Because if you're not silent, this is where if speaking up might just like make the situation worse. So this is where you just be silent, because speaking up might, a lot of people don't like to hear what it is. And the truth may be, if somebody asks me, oh, do you want to go out with me somewhere, or you want to go do this and you want to go do that, I might not have to just be editing that day. I might not have laundry to do, or just my motherly duties, or whatever the case may be. I might actually have a little time to squeeze in to actually attend this event or go with them. But if I don't want to go, now I have to feel like because I actually don't have plans, or because I have to go. No, I don't want to go. Period. And then they ask you, oh, why you don't want to go? You don't want to hear, nobody wants to ask somebody, oh, why you don't want to go, and then hear the real answer of, oh, because I just don't. You gonna look at the person like, but that's what it is. So that's when I just stay silent. I don't want to go. I'm not going to sit here and explain to you why I don't want to go, or why I feel the way I feel, or anything. I'm not explaining. I'm not elaborating anything to anyone extra. I'm not going to over-explain myself. I used to hate that, having to over-explain myself.
Oh, because I don't feel good. The other day I went out and da-da-da.
That's TMI. It's not even TMI, but it's TMI. If I have to let you know something, if my no has to come along with the why, that's a problem. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving out any more no's with whys. My no is a no, and that's that. It's not going to come with a but a why and a how and a where. No, it's not doing any of that. It is what it is. I said what I said. Leave it at that. People in my life now, like my best friend, she basically is... She basically knows how to handle me. And it sounds as crazy as it sounds, like, oh, knows how to handle you. Yeah, she knows how to handle me. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't realize that friendships are just as important as relationships. And she knows how to handle me in certain situations. So it's like, she'll know when I'm bullshit. And she knows that I'm on a journey of speaking up and doing everything else. So if she sees that I'm uncomfortable, she peeps my discomfort, she'll automatically be like, listen, best friend, what's up? Like, talk to me. And we'll talk, and I'll let her know, and then everything will be hunky-dory, and that would be it. Everything would be great. I dead said hunky-dory. Wow, Barb. Wow, Barbara. So you basically have to, like, I feel like for me, I have to surround myself with people that not going to try to test me. You know, like, I can't stand when people try to test me. Like, I had Wagwan in the Bronx. Sheesh. I've had friends before that would know, and I know it. Like, this is not something that I would think about before. This is something I had to realize as time went along, when I had to really sit back, because one part of the journey of speaking up is thinking, and just like sitting back and taking in all the information, and taking in everything that you've learned, and taking in everything that you've been through, and having to realize, like, damn, like, I have to do this. And during that stage, I had to overanalyze my friends. I had to reevaluate everybody that was in my life, because at this point, I have to change myself. Like, I'm changing everything. This is a way that I'm changing about me. I'm changing the way I speak. I'm working on my communication. I'm working on letting people know how I feel. And I'm working on not letting people think that I'm going to be a pushover. Because no, get out of here. Because I'm the nice girl that didn't speak up. And then I just let the anger like build up and build up. And now the anger done built up. And I just want to lash out like King Kong or something. And I don't want to do that. That's how it always ends up being. Like, I will hold things in, hold things in, hold things in. And then when somebody would get me to that point, now I'm lashing out and I look crazy. You know how many times I've been called crazy from people that did things to me that built up, and I allowed them to do these things numerous occasions, and then eventually it would build up, and now I'm like, so I didn't speak up before. So now when I'm pushed to the limit, it's like, okay, I decided to speak up when I'm pushed to the limit, and now I'm being called crazy because everything is built up. It's tension built up, it's anger built up, and now I'm lashing out instead of handling it the way speaking up in the beginning. I would have never had to get to the point where now I'm out here and I'm acting crazy and I'm just acting mad, and people are, you know, I don't want to deal with that. So like, I'm telling you, it don't matter what it is. And then when I say speak up, I mean speak up on everything. Like, I wouldn't talk to, it would be certain things that I wouldn't want to say to customer service agents for companies, like just small things. And now I say what I gotta say. I curse people out all the time. Not curse them out, but I've always wanted to be the person to not be the irate customer. I don't have to be irate, but now don't play with me. There's so many y'all. I have so many missed opportunities for free cable bills for the month, all because when things went down, I didn't speak up and be like, listen, I pay my bills on time every month. You guys had my stuff off for 2-3 weeks at a time, or whatever the case may be. It interfered in my work. I would just let it go and be like, oh, it's back on. It's back on. We're good, guys. Wi-Fi's back. Give me my 6 months free, or give me my 15 years of free cable. I don't care. Give it to me. Give it to me. People treat me different because they realize, like, damn, like, okay, like, she's not, I can't get away with this, but I can't get away with this anymore with her. That's cool. Great. I know that, so you tried it, but for the people that did try it and realized that they felt miserably after a while, that now, you know, very respectful, we have nothing going on. Great. I thank you to y'all for realizing that I was not the one. Thank you very much. Seriously. So I'm not mean. I'm not angry. Nobody even knows me as a mean person. Hell, I'm probably the friendliest person that you'll ever meet. I'm probably one of the most down-to-earth people that you will ever meet. I promise you. But you also have to be careful when you're a nice person. You also have to be careful when you have a warm heart. You also have to be careful just from being an empath. Being an empath, period, has put me in such a big hole because I didn't know how to protect myself from being an empath. When you're an empath, you have to know how to protect yourself. You have to be very protective. You have to have tough skin. You have to speak up. You have to speak up, because being an empath is like, yeah, you know, you care so much about other people, but what about you? What about you? And you have to think about it, y'all. Like, if you're doing something for somebody and they know, yo, there was a time, like, I really used to test people. There was a time where I remember somebody asked me for money, and I had told them that, I just wanted to, you know, see something. I wanted to test their loyalty. I wouldn't even say loyalty. I just wanted to test how they really felt about me. So I told them that I had to pay a certain bill, and if I give them the money now, I can't pay the bill. So if somebody allows you to put yourself in a hole, to dig themselves out of a hole that they know that you're not going to be able to get out of now, like, I'm never going to ask for something and have somebody, I'm never going to ask somebody or expect somebody to dig. I've never done that before. I've never even, first of all, I don't ask somebody for anything, but I'm never going to allow someone to dig me out of a hole that's going to dig themselves in one. What type of, so I'm going to, if I can't pay my rent, I'm going to ask somebody for $1,500 of their rent. So now they have $1,500. I don't have $1,500. So I'm gonna ask somebody, hey, I need my rent paid. Can I have $1,500? Blah blah blah, whatever the case may be. And then now they can't pay their rent. That doesn't make sense. How does that work? Like, why would I do that? What type of friend would I be if I allowed this person to get into the same hole that I'm in right now, and knowing that I can't dig them out? They just dug me out the hole. They basically climbed me up, helped me climb up the ladder, and I threw them in. That's not cool. You have to be careful with people like that. So basically, I just lied to him and I told him that, and you think he cared? He did not care, y'all. He did not care at all. And that's when I really had to think, like, wow, I'm being used. Like, I'm being used. This person is walking all over me. See, this is my fault. In the beginning, people would meet me and they would be so nice, just so nice. And then I think I started to show like early signs of niceness. And sometimes when you have friends and you're in a relationship, you can't show too much early signs of, and you just can't do too much. Just don't do too much, to sum it down. So I feel like I was doing too much, and I was allowing people to think that, oh, it's okay, like blah blah blah, look, me, and then I would continue to do things almost like a pick me, or whatever the case may be. Like, and that's with anything, with friends, with relationships. I felt like I was giving off that pick me vibe. Like, look, this is how nice I am. Like, I basically was proving to people why they should fuck with me. I mean, they should choose me rather than why should I choose you. And I'm not doing that no more. So basically, I just got used to being in a bubble of why they should choose me, and I felt like I would have to just continue and keep up with the pace of showing why you should do this to me. Like, me. Like, yes, look, I'm doing this. Hey, I'm here to dig you out. Hey, I'm your hero. Hey, I could save the day. And not realizing that I wasn't even comfortable with it. So instead of me speaking up and being like, hey, you know, I feel like you're going a little overboard now, I would just continue to do it. And then eventually I would ghost. Y'all, I'm a professional ghoster. I am the professional ghoster. I don't like that. Do I like it? No. Do I care? No. Like, ghosting was my way of speaking up. That was my way of speaking up. And I know it's probably a lot of y'all that can relate to that. But ghosting was my way of speaking up. If I felt uncomfortable with something, I would just ghost people. And now I realize, you know, that wasn't cool either. Like, don't ghost people. Don't do that. But I don't ever want anybody to leave my life. I don't want any situation to occur where they don't know how I really felt. So if I have like an ending of a friendship with somebody, of an ending of a relationship with somebody, they're going to automatically know where they effed up at, which side of the street it was on, what block it was on, and everything, what floor, what apartment. They're going to know exactly where they effed up at, every detail down to the T of where they messed up, because I'm not going to hold nothing in, and I'm going to speak up about it, and I'm going to let you know exactly where you went wrong with me. Like, hey, I remember that day you did this, I didn't like that, and I told you I didn't like it, and you still did it. So therefore, you basically gave yourself a one-way ticket right out of my life. And I'm going to let them know that straight up. And I'm not mean. I don't yell at people. I don't criticize people. I try to still, even now, with me speaking up, I still try to consider people's feelings a little bit. Like, I would sit back and maybe like test it, like, okay, yeah, you do want to say something, but make sure you say it like this, or make sure you don't say it like that, or make sure you don't make them feel this way. I still have a very strong heart for people. I would never, I feel like the one thing that I can't do is make people cry or make people feel sad. And I feel like lately, me speaking up has been making people sad. And I don't like that. It's not cool, but at the end of the day, sometimes the truth hurts. And sometimes, and like I said, even with me, I would never want somebody to basically feel a way about me and not tell me. Like, I don't want anybody, I wouldn't want no man to deal with me knowing that they don't really like me or they don't really want to deal with me, but they're just pretending for my feelings. Don't do that, because at the end of the day, you're pretending to feel a way about me, thinking that it's making me happy, but it's making you miserable. And it's also going to make me miserable now, because I don't want to be with somebody that don't really genuinely want to be here. Why would I want to be around somebody or be with somebody that doesn't genuinely want to be here? Like, it's no better feeling than something that's authentic and organic and truly genuine. Like, I have, like I said, in my life now, there's nothing but organicness. There's nothing but trueness. There's nothing but genuine shit. I don't have anything fake. There's nothing fake going on in my life right now. And all of that feels really good. You know, it feels extremely good to be inside of that life and to finally feel like, okay, this is the beginning stages of what peaceful life is. So speaking up is something that I just had to do. It's like I had to speak up about a lot of things, because I would probably still be miserable waking up every single day having to pretend to be happy just to keep people in my life, or just to surround myself with certain things, or just to be a part of certain things, or just to, no, what's for me will be for me, and what's for you is for you. It doesn't matter if, now I don't care how bad things go. Like, speak up, tell me something, don't leave me in the dust. And I'm only gonna be but so hurt, because it's like, okay, cool, I could even like somebody and that person doesn't really like me, and now they tell me and they feel like, oh, I don't want to tell her because it's going to hurt her feelings. Yes, it's going to hurt my feelings, but it's not going to hurt my feelings as much, because I know that you're not for me. So you're basically like a move on. It's like, oh, okay, I like this person, but God is showing me, like, listen, this is not for you. And I trust God, because once upon a time I felt like I valued my opinion more than God's, and that's why life was the way it was. That's why it wasn't hitting, and now it's hitting. So it's like, I'm not gonna sit around and ask for an explanation or mope around or feel like, oh, this person. No, please speak up and tell me how you feel about me, because I don't want to be the person that's being settled for. I know that's not, hell to the no. I'm not going to be that person. I would never. I'm speaking up on everything that bothers me or everything I feel, because I feel like speaking up and honesty just makes everything better. It changed my life. I'm such a better person. I'm happier. I'm healthier. I'm just, everything is just different. I don't even know the words to explain. Like, if you really knew me from back in the days, then you would know, like, yo, I have friends from kindergarten telling my friend Roshana, we've been friends for, oh my God, like, freaking 33 years. We've been friends for 33 years. And she's been telling me since a little kid, like, yo, you're too nice. You're too nice. You're too nice. Like, I have a million Facebook posts, but I don't even know if she deleted her damn page so much, but I have a million Facebook posts with her creeping up in the comments about certain things that I would speak about on the internet. And she'd be like, well, I told you, I've been telling you, you're too nice, you're too nice, you're too nice. And I used to look at that and be like, you know what, she's right. Like, I always knew she was right. But now it's like I really sit there and be like, yo, all the people that used to tell me that from back in the days, I wish I saw it now. And I mean, I wish I saw it then, but everything happens on God's timing. And speaking up was basically, it was like part of a process. Like, it's not like, it was something, for me, it was something like exercise, like wanting to lose weight. It was like I had to reach that goal. I had to practice it. At one point, I felt like I was coming off like a little bit too aggressive and more so like a bitch, honestly. I felt like I was coming off like a bitch a little bit too much. Like, some things I felt like I could have toned down a little bit with the way I approach people. But I also apologize to certain people that I felt like I lashed out at in a certain way. Or not really lashed out, because I'm not the type of person. I don't lash out at people. But that I probably came off a little bit heavier than I should have came off. Like, like, there was it's just so many things. You have to really think about it. Like, with anything in life when it comes to that, it's either them or you. Speaking up is more so about them or you. You speak up because you speak up if you don't want to be uncomfortable. If you feel a way about some way, express how you feel. God gave all of us a voice for a reason. We have this voice, we have to use it. Once upon a time, we didn't even have a voice to use. I feel like my life is dependent upon how I deliver myself and how I speak up and how I voice my opinion and how I show people how to treat me. Because it's not just the, oh, at this point in my life, I show people how to treat me. Like, if someone's doing something that I don't like, they're going to get the boot. They're going to get the boot, and they're going to see that they're not allowed back in my life. And then I have some people right now, as far as, and like I said before, I don't know if I said this in the last video, but there's certain people that is like on a list where I'm like waiting for them to show up and say something and try to come back and say something slick or play the same game that they used to play before, that I have to show that I'm not the same girl. And, you know, I'm waiting for that moment to come. Maybe it's not going to come. Maybe God is like, nah, you don't need that. Or maybe they already get the hint from watching my videos or whatever else the case may be. But I'm not that same girl, and I've been walked over, and it bothers me a lot because I feel like there's so many people that was actually close to me that knew I was like this, and they actually slightly took advantage of that too, and also played a big part in walking all over me. And you have to be careful who you call your friends, because sometimes your friends or whoever, anybody close to you, your friends, be careful who you're around. Be careful who you call your friend. Be careful who you call your homie, because sometimes they will know that, your friends will know that you're a certain way, and they'll take your weakness and they'll try to take advantage of your weakness. Like, there were so many people that I feel like will manipulate me into things or say certain things, and I would, in my head, automatically, it's like, oh no, but this is my friend, so this person would do this to me, or this person would say this about me, or this person would handle me this way. Yes, the hell they would. Why not? Yes, they would. Everybody's not a friend. Everybody you cannot call a friend. Everybody's not a homie. Everybody's not close to you. Everybody cannot be trusted. So you literally have to speak up to those little snakes in the grass. You have to let them know, like, listen, I'm not the one. Don't try me. I feel like there was a big portion of my life where I wasn't letting people know, like, listen, I'm not the one, don't try me. Although I've never been the one to try, because I always knew that, oh, I just gave people too much of a gap. So like I said, it was like I would give people such a long duration to play with me, that when it did come time to address the situation, I was lashing out at them instead of assessing the situation earlier on, or saying my little, if somebody say something slick, hey, say something slick back early on, so they could be peep and be like, oh, she's not that girl. Instead, people would say little things or test my energy, and I would just be the calm girl. Like, I was also known as the calm girl, the quiet girl, but I was never like quiet. I don't mean like quiet like, oh, shut up, zip, don't talk. I mean like quiet as like non-confrontational, not mixy, never in no drama, stuff like that. So, or the peacemaker, not really, I wouldn't say like the peacemaker like, oh, two people are fighting and I'm the one to break it up, but I mean like the peacemaker as far as making sure that I'm at peace and making sure that I'm not in no drama. So a lot of times in my life, I felt like in order for me to remain, to keep it going, I had to refrain from saying certain things or not speak up or just act like and pretend that, oh, this doesn't bother me, or pretend I'm okay with this and pretend I'm okay with that to avoid confrontation. I'm not doing that anymore, because guess what? That made me very unhappy. It made me so unhappy to the point where there was times that I was in a miserable relationship because I wasn't speaking up, or there was times that I was dealing with like talking to guys or dating someone that I knew for a fact was not on my level, but I knew how they felt about me. So instead of me being like chill, like whatever the case may be, I would drag it along just a little bit longer than what it should be, because I would feel like this person needs me, or let me do this. There was even time, yo bitch, I say yo bitch like coach. There was even times that I was like so delusional at one point when it came to men, that there would be men that there was like this guy that I knew that I didn't want to be with. I knew I didn't like. It was like, yeah, he was cute. That's it. What the hell is cute? Cute doesn't mean anything. It was like, yeah, he was cute, but I knew that he wasn't gonna last. And I felt like, I have to stay around and be miserable because I know in a couple of more months he should be good. He should have this. He should have that. So let me just sit back, because it's only a couple of more months for me to be miserable. Yo, I don't understand how I used to think like that. And he used to say so many things, but I wanted to speak up and really tell him about himself. It's like people would say how they felt. And mind you, a lot of times when people would speak up, like when he would speak up about me or say something about me, it wasn't even true. It was his brain feeling so attacked and feeling like he knew that there was nothing bad that he could say, so he would just start saying anything. It didn't matter what it was. So there were times that he would sit there and say certain things, and I would be looking at him like, but I would let him talk. And in my head, I'm like, I want to tell them so much about themselves. But then it's like, I think about it now, and it's like, yeah, I could tell them a lot about themselves. But then I also told a lot about me. You know, I was low-key settling for things because I just didn't want to speak up, and I didn't want to hurt somebody's feelings, or I didn't want them to feel away, or I didn't want them to be sad. So it was like I would jeopardize my my happiness, and be like, you know what, I'll be sad. You know, that's not what I would say, but that's what my actions was given. My actions was given, okay, if I do this to this person, if I tell this person of this, then this might F up their whole day. This might make them sad. This might make them feel this way. Now, okay, that's cool. You want to consider people's feelings, but what about your feelings, Yan? Like, what about my feelings? I never considered my feelings. It was always just I never even thought about it. I don't even have an excuse. Like, it's not even like, oh, there was always just a this or always just a that. I don't even have an excuse. I literally just did not care about my feelings. I never once in my mind put my feelings and said, okay, if I do this to this person, I'm going to feel this way. I'm not going to like it. I never even considered my feelings. My mind, how I felt was not even a thought. It was solely always about the next person. So I felt like if this was right for the next person, then it was right for me. That's how I felt. And I'm so happy I'm not like that. I put me first for everything, and it changed my life. It changed the people that's in my life. The people that were in my life 2 years ago is completely, I have like a whole different roster of everything, of the cool family members, of the friends. It's just like, you know, new guy, new friends, new this, everything has just changed around, and it happened, you know, everything happened for the better. You know, there's some friends that I really truly dearly miss. You know, there's some friends that I have words for, that I do want to speak up about some things. You know, there's some friends that, I mean, there's some family members that I want to talk to, or whatever the case may be, but we haven't crossed that bridge yet. But however, I know I'm happy. I mean, I'm putting me first. I'm putting my feelings first. I'm putting my peace first. So no, I don't want to talk about anything petty that's gonna alter my mental health, or alter the way I feel, or alter my peace. No, not right now. And I don't expect anybody to understand that, and I don't expect anybody to accept it or nothing. You don't have to accept it. I have to accept it. It is what it is. Like, it doesn't have to be accepted, but it just has to be respected. That's it. You don't have to accept it, but you got to respect it. So at the end of the day, damn, my camera's dying already. My camera's dying, and I'm not going back to fix another one. So let me hurry this up. All right, you guys. So my camera actually died. I know I just said that, oh, I hope that the camera doesn't die. It did. It died. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys liked it. And remember to always speak up, speak up, speak up. And remember to have the balance between speaking up and being silent, because being silent is just as strong as speaking up. But you have to know when. And when I say silent, I mean like the sarcastic silent, not like the mousy, not saying how you feel silent. Like I spent the majority of my life having. I mean like the people asking you too much stuff. You ain't gotta explain yourself, because then guess what? They're gonna expect you to always explain yourself, and you don't have to explain yourself to nobody. You do not have to do that. You don't owe anybody an explanation but you. Remember that. So speak up, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and give this video a thumbs up, because you know YouTube is not just about liking the videos, the subscribe. I mean, YouTube is not just about the subscribers and the watches, the engagement. You know, my videos get pushed out when people like, comment, subscribe, and share. You know, well, my video gets pushed out when people like, when people engage, when people comment. So, you know, drop down in the comments if you have a problem with speaking up, or if you felt this video, if this video did something to you, or if you know somebody that needs to speak up. Send them this video, because it will change your life if you just literally take the steps to speak up. Put you first, because once you start doing it, I'm telling you now, you're never gonna stop doing it. That's just what it is. But I'm about to call it a night, guys. I'm tired. I got to get in the shower, and I have to get up early in the morning. I actually have to edit this video, because I want this video to be out by tomorrow. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that tonight. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I love you all. See you guys in my next video. Later.